Well, now let's revisit that earlier story of the three-judge bench sitting of Eric Ogolla, Freda Mugambi, and Anthony Mrima that is sitting in Nairobi, considering the conservatory orders barring Deputy President nominee Kithure Kindiki from assuming office on Thursday afternoon. Let's now cross over to Milimani Law Courts, where my colleague David Mudoka has been listening in and following these proceedings the whole day today. David, good evening. Quite a long day. Do we know exactly if the judges are going to finally give us a ruling on the lifting of these conservatory orders tomorrow?
Well, today's court proceedings have come to an end just a few minutes ago. And today is actually the longest we've ever sat since these proceedings on Gachagua's impeachment began exactly a week ago. And today was actually that day when two applications were heard on the conservatory orders issued by a court in Kerugoya, barring Deputy President nominee Professor Kithure Kindiki from taking the oath of office and assuming the office of the second most powerful office in the land. And we've seen one of the applications from Rigathi Gachagua, who is the impeached Deputy President, with his lawyers led by Paul Muite, arguing that these orders have to be extended. And in their submissions, they have actually tried to urge the court to extend the order, saying that the transition from Gachagua to Kindiki should take about 74 days. Remember, the Constitution says that after someone has been impeached as Deputy President, the President, and in this case William Ruto, has 14 days to pick a name and forward it to the Speaker of the National Assembly, while the National Assembly has 60 days to consider that name and either approve or disapprove. And they say that they have about 2 months, or rather that transition from a former deputy president or an impeached deputy president to a new deputy president should take about 74 days. And they want the orders, the conservatory orders that prohibit Kithure Kindiki from succeeding Rigathi Gachagua in place until their matter that they have brought to the High Court has not only been heard but also determined. They also want those orders extended, saying that they have a strong case that will convince this particular three-judge bench of the Milimani Law Courts to reinstate Gachagua, saying, well, number one, the public participation done on Gachagua's impeachment was not sufficient, and the court will find that later as on in the proceedings. They also say there are other issues, including Kithure Kindiki's selection, saying that there was no public participation done, and so they believe that they have a strong case that the government cannot afford to replace Gachagua yet, saying that Gachagua will eventually be reinstated, and with Kindiki in place, it will be a long haul and a long process actually undoing what Kindiki will have done before Gachagua is reinstated. Now, we have seen a rejoinder through an application from the state, and this is actually the lawyers were led by former Attorney General Githu Muigai, and they say that the office of the Deputy President right now, which is vacant, is too big to remain vacant. And they say that a Deputy President in the country, through several executive orders that were issued by President William Ruto, holds a significant position in government, actually citing the role as the chair of the Intergovernmental Budget and Economic Council, IBEC, which is only chaired by a deputy president. And so they say that vacancy has to be filled as soon as possible. And so after these submissions that we saw today, the three-judge bench that is led by Principal Judge of the High Court, Eric Ogolla, and which comprises Dr. Freda Mugambi and Justice Anthony Mrima, will render its ruling on Thursday at 2:30 p.m. And so we wait to see what kind of ruling will be rendered by this three-judge bench, as well as whether they will take the 2 or 3 minutes that they took last time, or this time round it will be rather lengthy to basically give that ruling on the fate of both Kindiki as well as Gachagua. Back to you in studio.
Well, thank you very much, David Muloka. Quite a long day. Please take a rest. Tomorrow we begin again.